McAFEE has already blown away expectations. Pat, you've already morally won this.
In the shadowed depths of WWE's darkest legacy, The Undertaker rises once more. After Gunther's brutal attack on Pat McAFEE shattered the peace, the dead man delivers an ominous warning. Justice will be served in the boneyard. This is no ordinary challenge. It's a reckoning forged in pain and vengeance. Gunther, the cold ring general turned volatile force, stands accused by the very embodiment of death itself. In the eerie silence of the graveyard, only one will walk away. The Undertaker has spoken. Payback begins where darkness reigns supreme. WrestleMania 41. The night Gunther's empire crumbled. Let's rewind to WrestleMania 41, a night etched in the annals of WWE history. It featured a stacked card with jaw-dropping matches, from title defenses to dream rivalries that had fans on the edge of their seats. But nothing was more shocking than the World Heavyweight Championship bout featuring Gunther, the embodiment of discipline and control, and Jey, an underdog with everything to prove. Gunther wasn't just a champion, he was a force of nature, methodical, ruthless, and seemingly unstoppable. His championship belt wasn't just gold, it was a symbol of his dominance, his iron will, and near-supernatural command inside the squared circle. But on that night, the impossible happened. Jey, against all odds, pulled off a flawless victory, a clean pinfall in the center of the ring that left the crowd gasping. Gunther's vanishing act, the calm before the storm. In the aftermath, the WWE Universe expected Gunther to respond with his trademark stoicism, perhaps demanding a rematch or issuing a cold, calculated warning to the new champion. But nothing happened. No press conferences, no social media posts, no appearances at all. Gunther simply vanished from the public eye. Behind that silence was a brewing storm. Something inside Gunther snapped, something dark and primal. The calculated ring general was gone, and what replaced him was a volatile force teetering on the edge of madness. Monday Night Raw from Las Vegas. The unthinkable eruption. The night after WrestleMania, Raw unfolded live from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. The crowd was still riding the adrenaline wave from the show's biggest moments, with Jey soaking in the chants and adoration of the fans. It was supposed to be a night of triumph and celebration, a coronation for the new champion. Then, the cameras cut back from a commercial break, and there he was. Gunther, the once composed and unshakable ring general, now a man boiling over with barely contained rage. His jaw was clenched tight, fists balled like steel traps, and his eyes burned with a wild intensity that sent a chill through the arena. But instead of storming the ring to confront Jey, Gunther's fury took a terrifying, unexpected turn. The assault that shattered the night. Gunther pivoted sharply away from the ring and headed directly for the commentary desk. The air instantly shifted as Michael Cole and Pat McAFEE, WWE's seasoned broadcasters, caught the unmistakable sign that something was wrong. The tension was palpable. This was no scripted segment, no choreographed attack. This was raw, unscripted violence. Without warning, Gunther exploded into action. His voice thundered in a mix of German and English, a furious tirade no one could fully decipher, but everyone felt the venom. Then came the moment that froze the world in disbelief. Gunther shoved Michael Cole violently out of his chair. Cole crashed backward, stunned and vulnerable. Then, with cold calculation, Gunther seized Pat McAFEE by the throat, lifting him off the ground in a chokehold live on air. A chokehold of madness. Gunther broke free from the initial scuffle, only to grab McAFEE once more, this time slamming him to the floor with brutal force. He locked in a merciless chokehold, squeezing with such intensity that the audience feared for McAFEE's life. The atmosphere turned suffocating. The live crowd erupted into a deafening chorus of boos, fear, and desperate pleas. Fans in the arena and millions watching worldwide were witnessing something terrifying. A man unraveling before their eyes, a descent into madness that transcended wrestling drama. The aftermath. Silence and fear. When the dust finally settled, Pat McAFEE was helped from the arena, visibly shaken and barely able to stand. Michael Cole, though present, was a ghost of his usual self, silent, pale, and shaken. The crowd that had once been euphoric was now stunned into silence, the joyful energy replaced by an eerie tension. Backstage, the shockwaves were just as intense. Reports surfaced of WWE talent and staff caught completely off guard. Many were rattled by the raw violence and unpredictable nature of the incident. The line between storyline and reality had blurred so badly that even the most seasoned performers were unsure how to react. The Undertaker's haunting warning. Then came the reaction that no one expected but everyone feared. The Undertaker, the Phenom, the Dead Man, a living legend whose presence alone commands respect and dread, stepped out from the shadows. Known for speaking rarely and acting with grave purpose, The Undertaker posted a chilling message that sent ripples through WWE and beyond. The look in Gunther's eyes. I've seen it before. Not many come back from it. He's walking a dangerous path, and not every path leads back to the light. This was no casual comment. It was a warning. The Dead Man was watching. And if The Undertaker was watching, it meant the darkness enveloping Gunther was a threat to the entire WWE landscape. WWE in crisis, backstage turmoil, and rising tensions. The response behind the scenes was immediate and intense. WWE officials convened emergency meetings that stretched late into the night. Some advocated for suspending Gunther or even terminating his contract, fearful of the liability and danger his actions posed. Others warned that punishing him might provoke an even more volatile and dangerous reaction. The locker room grew tense, with many superstars walking on eggshells. Some refused to appear live without heightened security measures. Whispers of fear spread through the halls of WWE headquarters. No one wanted to be caught in the crossfire of a man who appeared to have lost all control. Meanwhile, Pat McAFee remained absent from television and social media alike. His silence only deepened the mystery and concern surrounding the incident. A divided fan base and the rise of the Dark Ring. General. The WWE universe itself became divided. Some called for Gunther to be banned from the company, branding his actions as unforgivable. Others, captivated by the raw, unfiltered intensity of his dissent, saw in him a dark anti-hero, a figure of vengeance and chaos. This was no longer the man who had once stood cold and precise, the leader behind Imperium's order. This was something far darker, a vengeful force, broken and spiraling, a tempest no one could predict. And The Undertaker saw it all. The Undertaker's challenge, a boneyard reckoning. 1 week later, WWE Raw opened with a somber and eerie tone. The commentary table was half empty. Michael Cole was present, but Pat McAfee's seat remained hauntingly vacant. Suddenly, the arena lights flickered violently. Thunder roared through the sound system, sending chills down the spine of every fan in attendance. The iconic gong echoed, a haunting call to darkness, the unmistakable sound signaling The Undertaker's arrival. But this wasn't a nostalgia appearance. This wasn't a tribute to a legendary career. This was a mission. The Dead Man appeared on the Titantron, not inside the arena, not in the ring, but in a fog-laden graveyard. The mist swirled around his feet like ghostly serpents, and the brim of his hat cast shadows over eyes burning with cold fire. His voice was calm but carried the weight of fury and judgment. The final message: retribution over legacy. This was the battleground where AJ Styles was buried, where The Undertaker once declared the end of his era. But now the fight was not about legacy or past glory. It was about retribution. The Dead Man was not stepping back into the ring for nostalgia or spectacle. He was rising from the shadows to deliver punishment, a reckoning for Gunther's actions against Pat McAfee, a man who had been wronged and could no longer speak for himself. The stage was set. The WWE Universe held its breath. The line between wrestling fantasy and terrifying reality had been drawn, and no one knew who would emerge from the darkness victorious. Closing thoughts. The night wrestling changed forever. WrestleMania 41, will forever be remembered not only for its incredible matches and title changes, but for the moment the facade cracked. For the night, a champion lost more than his belt. He lost himself. Gunther's shocking assault and The Undertaker's haunting response marked the dawn of a new chapter, one where darkness, madness, and justice collided with brutal force. The wrestling world watched, captivated and fearful, as two titans prepared for a final battle where only one could walk away unscathed. Because in WWE, some stories aren't scripted, some legends aren't made in the ring, and some nightmares don't end until the lights go out for good.